This is part 2 of the Settings module, part of the Introduction to Technologies course. Now, when you go to the website zoom.us, or if you go to actually Zoom itself, and when you first launch Zoom, you can click on the Home tab, you can click on the Settings, and then at the bottom here you can click on View More Settings, which also brings you back to the website here. Otherwise, like I said, you can just click on zoom.us. This will bring you here. Now, right now I'm on the Profile tab on the left side of my screen, and you can see my name. I can change my picture in here. I can delete it, and I've got lots of personal information and the time zone and so on and so forth. The other things that we can do is click on the Settings tab right here, and that'll bring us a long list of settings that we can change in here. So there's meeting, recording, telephone, and underneath that there's security, scheduling a meeting, inside a meeting basics and advanced, email notification, and other. So let's go through that list here very quickly and see what's important. First of all, waiting room. This should always be turned on, especially if you're teaching in class. That way you can allow people to wait for you and not have let's say a busy signal when they're trying to join the Zoom. So if you're going to be doing any kind of Zoom call, you should allow people to wait for you before you join in. There's a lot of things about meeting passcode and personal meeting passcode, so on and so forth. These are all up for me, but if you want to have a password for joining a Zoom meeting, then by all means you can do that. Now, you can also have only authenticated users join meetings. That way you'll have a list of people that you can join the Zoom meeting, and you can just only have people from that list. I'm not going to talk too much about that. Now, scheduling a meeting, you want your video to be on when you first turn it on. You want also the participants' video to be turned on, so these are on. The audio type, here we can allow for telephone and computer audio. Some people can actually join a Zoom call with just your telephone if you don't have access to a video. And unfortunately, be very aware that this is extremely expensive if you live in Canada, because this is routed through the US. So you will get a very, trust me, I know, I have received a very expensive phone bill for that. Allow participants to join before host. That goes along with the one that we saw on top here, to have the waiting room. So that will allow people to actually join before you. You can also determine how long they can wait for before. So by default, people can log in an hour before. So enable your personal meeting ID, so on and so forth. These are not very important. Now, well, they are important, but we're not going to discuss them in here. So here are some basic meetings. So first of all, you can require encryption, which slows it down a bit. But again, if you're very security minded, you can always turn it on. Chat, very important to leave it on. That way people can chat. You can allow or not private chat. Some teachers don't allow private chatting between students, so they'll turn it off. Personally, I like to turn it on. If you want to chat with one another, fine. You can save chats automatically. I have that set up to off, sorry. Sound notification when somebody joins or leaves, very important, especially if you're the host. You want, in this case, host and the co-host only to hear that noise, but this will alert you that somebody has joined the meeting. You can also leave it on for everyone if you want everybody to hear that somebody is requesting. You can even ask them to record their voice so that people will say their name, and then they'll say so-and-so wants to join the meeting. File transfer, very important to leave it on. This is an added benefit for classes. We can actually send you files through this. We could allow only specified types of file or a maximum file size, but I just leave those off. That way we can transfer any type of file you want, whether it's an Excel document, a PDF, so on and so forth. Feedback to Zoom will actually put in the settings a feedback so that you can actually send Zoom a feedback about your meeting, and people can receive that at the end of the meeting. They can have a display experience survey to see if they were happy. I don't leave that one on. Co-host, practical, lets you give control to somebody else if you need to leave and come back. Always show meeting control toolbar, very important as well, because at the bottom of your screen you'll have all your icons such as participants, chat, so on and so forth. If you leave it off, they'll still be there, but you'll just need to move your mouse around your screen in order to see them. Show the Zoom window during screen share, very important, so that basically people are sharing their screen, but they can still see the teacher and people that are in the meeting. Allow screen sharing, again, very important, because people can share their screen. You can also only have the host start sharing when somebody else is sharing. You can disable desktop screen for users, which I don't particularly, I don't leave it on. Basically, that will prevent them from showing their desktop. It'll only allow to show them the specific application they're in. Annotate, this will allow people to annotate the screen sharing, very practical. Whiteboard, as well, when we're teaching in class, it's very important to have a whiteboard to be able to write on it. You can allow saving of the whiteboard content from everyone, and this will save it as either a PNG or a PDF file. You can also allow remote control, which basically means that people can control the content that's being shared. Nonverbal feedback, this will allow the thumbs up icon and so on and so forth while you're sharing your screen. The meetings as well, these only appear on your screen for about 10 seconds, and you can also change your skin tone as we saw in the first part of this module. You can allow remove participant to rejoin if you have to remove someone because they're making too much noise or their video is not working, or you can allow them to rejoin or not. Again, it's your choice. You should allow participants to rename themselves. That way it's not the name of their phone or their computer. They can actually rename themselves. Should you want to, you can always hide their picture if they've decided to replace their name with a picture. Well, additionally with a picture, I leave it off. Now, these are advanced things that will let you, for example, report to Zoom if somebody's being very naughty, should I say. You could always report this to Zoom and they will add them to their ban list. Breakout room, you want to have breakout room enabled. That allows us, especially as teacher, to actually bring you to a breakout room. And as well, we can allow manually assign participants to breakout rooms. So that's, if you're a teacher, you want that to be on. And then we have things like remote support, closed captioning, saved captions, and control. These are much more advanced features that we're not going to look at. Now, as far as virtual backgrounds are concerned, I personally like to turn it off. I've left it on right now, but if you turn it off, this will greatly increase your bandwidth. So if somebody is using video backgrounds, that takes a lot of video bandwidth, so it actually slows things down. So if you want, you can turn it off to not allow people to have virtual backgrounds. You can manage your virtual background here by adding more or removing some. You can turn on and off video filters as well if you want people to apply video filters to the video, such as funny faces and so on and so forth. These are a little bit more advanced. We're not going to look at them because we don't really need them. There's quite a few, as you can see. So email notification, important one. When attendees join before the host, you can always receive an email to let you know that somebody's waiting for you. And also, if the meeting has to cancel, the host has to cancel a meeting, so if the teacher has to cancel it, they can send you an email automatically. So that's it for the numerous different Zoom options as far as the settings are concerned.